Aloha mai kako. Thank you for joining us today on Kahale Hoaka. I just wanted to start off with introducing myself in Olelo Hawaii, and you guys have been progressing towards that and having a simple conversation. But last class on Thursday, I'm going to really break it down and teach you guys how to introduce yourselves in Olelo Hawaii. Kapili is going to fix our beautiful background behind us. Mahalo Kapili. So aloha mai kako. O maile na ehu ko uinoa, no moloka I mai au, kanaha kuma ono o u makahiki. So what I just said was, aloha, my name is Maile Naehu from the island of Molokai, and I am 46 years old. So you guys will be able to say all those things by the end of this session. All right, so let's begin how we always do with our oli ka hoa hoa, which is an oli to echo the leader. So I will lead with the first line, Eala e kahike, and you will repeat after me, and we'll do that the whole oli 3 times through. And this is to prepare our body, mind, and spirit for the learning that we're going to do today. Makakau, let's put our hands by our side. When we do oli, we're going to open up ourselves and prepare our bodies and minds and spirits. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. E hume kamalo. Ai ika ai. Pa'alima ika hoi. Ahoya. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. E hume kamalo. Ai ika ai. Pa'alima ika hoi. Ahoya. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. Eala e kahike. E hume kamalo. Ai ika ai. Pa'alima ika hoi. Ahoya. We're all paddling forth together. Maikai, we're ready to start our day. Very good. Now we're going to talk about our olelo no eau. Every class we like to begin with a thought for the day that'll help us get through the rest of our day in a positive way. So the olelo no eau today is mohala ikawai kamaka o kapua, which means that unfolded are the faces of the flowers. And so it refers to, unfolded by the water are the faces of the flowers, at kalamai. So what it refers to is how we nurture ourselves with words, just like a plant, yeah? So you need to say kind words like we do water a plant. We nurture our plants. A lot of people know that if you talk nicely to a plant or you sing to a plant, it'll flourish and grow beautifully and it'll blossom as a flower should. And so is a person or a child. The other word for child is pua, and pua also means flower. So it's poetic in saying that we need to take care of our children and the ones we love, just as we do a flower in a garden, so that it can blossom. So I want to know in the chat on the side, what are some things that you can say? What are some nice things that you can say to people to help them to blossom and flourish like a flower? What are some really nice things to say? Do you guys have any ideas? Yeah, nice. You look nice today. That's a nice thing to say. Aloha wau yaoi. I love you. You are so creative. I love all this input. Wonderful. So that's what we want to take with us today. Mohala ikawai kamaka o kapua. Let's be positive. Let's lift each other up. And especially our keiki. We need to create a nice flourishing garden for them. Maikai. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Let's see. We're going to practice our mahina. Our mapo mahina is our moon phases. And we started introducing the moon phases from the beginning when we started talking about Hina, the mother of Molokai. But now we're going a little bit deeper and getting familiar with what the moon phases are and their names. Now, if you notice in the first row, we have the rising moons. And that is the nui, the whole nui phase, which means nui means to become big or plentiful, yeah? And the next phase is poi poi, the middle row. And those are all of our fuller moon phases. And now we're in the emi, or the waning phase of the moon, when it starts to become smaller again. So last week, Thursday, we were on La'au Kukahi. So if we look at your screen, Thursday, and today is Tuesday, let's count until Tuesday to figure out what po mahina we're in today. Okay, so let's count from La'au Kukahi. So that was Thursday. Next one, La'au Kulua, Friday. And then Saturday, La'au Pau. And then we go up to the next row and we're reaching Sunday, Ole Kukahi. Monday, Ole Kulua. Oh, and then Tuesday, Ole Pau. Oh, look, I put the wrong one in there. I put the wrong night. I put tomorrow's moon in there, but that's okay. We'll practice it with Ole Pau. Kumos make mistakes too. Kalamai. So where you see the blank over there that says Kaloa Kulua and that pretty picture of the moon on the side, we're going to put Ole Pau there. Now, interesting thing about Ole Pau is that the Ole nights, just like the word Ole, what does Ole mean? Ole means zero or nothing. Very good. And we'll learn a little bit more about numbers in Thursday's class. So Ole is a clue right there in what kind of productive things you can do that day. It usually isn't very good for fishing. It usually isn't very good for planting. And for myself personally, on the Ole nights, there's 1, 2, 3 Ole nights, and you'll reach 3 more at the beginning if you look at the first row. So there's 6 Ole nights. No, 4 and then 3. Sorry, there's 7 Ole nights in a month in the Mahina moon phases. And so those are the days that I usually just do like easy work. I don't have to think too much. I don't have to be too creative. It's just everyday kind of work. That's when I do it during the Ole nights. So we're on Ole Pau, which means Pau. We're going to finish the Ole nights tonight. Tomorrow we'll be in Kaloa Kukahi. Now Kaloa Kukahi is a whole different story, productive for planting vines, banana, coal, sugarcane, stuff like that. And it's good for fishing, especially shellfish. So plan on that for tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to ask the question, which moon phase is it? Okapo mahina hea keia. And then you would answer Okapo, and we're not going to do Kaloa Kulua. That was my mistake in Kalamai. That's for tomorrow, so you can practice that tomorrow. We're going to stick Ole Pau in there. So it's going to sound like this. Okapo Ole Pau keia. Okapo Ole Pau keia. Can you repeat it after me? Okapo Ole Pau keia.
Okapo Ole Pau keia.
Maikai. So I'm going to ask you the question again, and I want you to answer me with that answer. Okapo mahina hea keia.
Okapo Ole Pau keia.
Maikai. It's the po Ole Pau. Oh, I tricked you guys. I made it harder for you guys. You have to think extra hard and fill it in on your own. But that's good for the mind, yeah? So let's move on to the next slide. The next slide is Mele Ko'i Honua. We're going to revisit the Oli that we learned last week. Now we've been also becoming familiar with how the islands were formed in Hawaii. We learned the story of Pele and Namako Kahai. Pele and her sister got into this quarrel, this long going quarrel, and they fought with each other fiercely. Pele with her fires and Namako Kahai with the ocean. And with that, they created all of the islands of Hawaii. They started on Kauai's end and they ended on Hawaii. And that's why Pele still resides there till today on Hawaii Island. Now, we also learned how to pronounce all the islands correctly, right? So let's go through that real quick. I just want you to repeat after me. Okay, let's start with the eldest of the islands when we go according to Papa and Wakea having those islands as children. Okay, so we start from Hawaii. It's the opposite end as the Pele story. Okay, so repeat after me. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Maui.
Maui.
Molokai.
Molokai.
Lanai.
Lanai.
Kaho'olawe.
Ho'olawe.
Oahu.
Oahu.
Kauai.
Kauai.
Ni'ihau.
Ni'ihau.
Very good. Now I also explained that Kaho'olawe is believed to be the afterbirth. So Papa and Wakea had these children together. Wakea had some children with Hina in other stories like Molokai, right? We have Molokai, the beautiful child of Wakea and Hina. And so this story is a little different, but we're going to familiarize ourselves by practicing this Oli. So the order that Wakea and Papa had the children was first Hawaii and then Maui, and you'll see that on the side of your screen. So O Wakea nohoya, Papa ha naumoku. Wakea stayed with Papa. Earth Mother, Sky Father, they stayed together. And in that union, that time that they were together, Hanau o Hawaii he moku. Hanau o Maui he moku. Hawaii Island was born, Maui Island was born. Ho'ia e o Wakea nohoya ho'oho kukalani. So Wakea went to stay with ho'oho kukalani, another ahua. And with her, he had Moloka'i and Lanai Ka'ula. Now, like I explained in other stories, Hina is the mother of Moloka'i. We don't discredit any of those stories. We honor them all. Okay, so we go to the next line. Lili o pu punalua o papaya ho'oho kukalani. Ho'i ho o papa nohoya Wakea. Okay, so Papa became, in her opu, her belly, Lili opu became jealous when she found out that Wakea had children with ho'oho kukalani. So she returned, she went back, ho'i ho, ho'i. Ho'i means to go back and return. Ho'i ho papa noho ya Wakea. She stayed with Wakea. And in that final union, when they came together, Hanao o Oahu he moku. Oahu was born. Hanao o Kauai he moku. Kauai Island was born. Hanao ni ihau he moku. Ni ihau Island was born. He ula o Kaho'olawe. And like I explained, Kaho'olawe is the afterbirth. It is the placenta. It nourished the islands as it was in the opu. Okay, so I'm going to do all the bolded parts of the oli, and you guys will do the unbolded parts. So I will lead, and then you will follow. So I'll do it one time through, and if you are comfortable and familiar with it, join me. And the girls are going to join me here. And then we'll do it one more time just to make it even stronger. And ho'oi kaika. Ho'oi kaika means to make it stronger. Okay? E ku'i luna. Hands by your side. When we oli, we always lavena oli. We opened ourselves up to the energies and to so our mana can become stronger. Okay? Yeah. Why don't you guys join me? Come on the side. Hey, girl. Okay. One time through, and then we'll go and do it again. O Wakea nohoya papa hana moku.
Hano Hawaii he moku. Hano Maui he moku.
Hoi ho Wakea nohoya ho ho kukalani.
Hano Maui he moku. Hano Lanai Ka'ula he moku.
Lili o pu punalua o papaya o kukalani. Hoi ho papa nohoya Wakea.
Hano Oahu he moku. Hano Koi he moku. Hano ni hau he moku. He ula o Kaho'olawe.
Maikai. And this time we're going to go a little slower on the girls' parts so that you guys can follow along. Okay? And I'm going to keep my pace. I just want you guys to take it slow on the response. Okay? So you can work on your puana, your pronunciation. Makaukau. O Wakea nohoya papa hana moku.
Hano Hawaii he moku. Hano Maui he moku.
Hoi ho Wakea nohoya ho ho kukalani.
Hano Moloka'i he moku. Hano Lanai Ka'ula he moku.
Lili o pu punalua o papaya ho ho kukalani. Hoi ho papa nohoya Wakea.
Hano Oahu he moku. Hano Kauai he moku. Hano ni hau he moku. He ula o Kaho'olawe.
My kind girls, mahalo for your help. Mahalo. Hey, very good, guys. I could just feel your mana and your energy out there. So beautiful. My ka'iloa. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the sentence structures that we learned last time. Okay, so let's go visit our slide that talks about pehea'oi. How do you use the word pehea'oi? Now, when we see each other in everyday conversation, we learned how to say aloha, which is aloha, velina, ano'ai, all those different ways to greet each other. But we also learned that we need to, in order to be considerate and kind, we need to always ask how our friend, how are you doing? Pehea'oi. Yeah, so pehea means how, oi, you. How you, it basically means how you. Come over here and join me in this conversation. And we're gonna walk through. So when somebody asks you how you, pehea'oi, you're gonna answer them back with how you're feeling. And the usual answers will be, I'm feeling good, tired, sick. That's the basic answers, right? And we can get more fancy with our words, like I'm feeling happy, hau'oli, I'm feeling busy, pa'ahana, different words. And you can always look up those new words so you can increase your vocabulary. But we're gonna stick to the general easy stuff for today. Maika'i, maluhiluhi, o ma'i. So you can pick any of those as far as how you're feeling today. Okay, and then you respond back. So you say, Maika'i wau, I'm good. Oi, and you. It's always just considerate and kind to ask back how the person is doing. Not just be like, oh, I'm good, and keep walking, right? You want to be like, a'o'oi, and you? And then they will answer, oh, maluhi luhi wau, mahalo, I'm kind of tired, thanks. Okay? So that's a simple conversation. Me and Kapili are we changed our conversation from last week, and we're gonna use the word e. I want you to listen to the word e. It's just a one letter, the letter e, e. And try and notice where we put it in the conversation that's typed on the side of your screen, okay? So Kapili, go.
Velina e maile, pea oi.
Hui, e Kapili, mai ka'i loa wau, a'o'oi?
Mai ka ilo wao. Malama pono.
Hi, mahalo, ke aloha nui ahuiho. Mahalo, Kapili. See, that's a beautiful conversation. And you guys basically learned how to do all those things. So you take a greeting, velina, hui, aloha. But did you notice how I used the word e? Now I used the word e before a name. And we're gonna learn how to use e before a name, as well as when you use it to tell someone to do something. So let's go to the next slide and let's practice that for a little bit. Now the next slide has a really cute little cartoon thing that I made myself to make it fun. And it has the letter e on the top. Can everybody say e? Mai ka'i. Now it says below that, e is used before calling someone by name. So just like our conversation, e kapili, e maile, pehe oi, right? So it's that simple. Now if you look at the little speech bubbles in my cartoon that I did below, you'll see the characters' names are capitalized. And the A goes right before their name. So on this side, we have the keikikane, or the boy saying, e la'i pehea oi tita. And then I translated it. How you doing, sis? And then kahale answers, aloha e kahale. Oh, actually, la'i answers to kahale. Aloha e kahale, mai ka'i wau, palala. I'm good, brother. So what I did was I wrote it in Hawaiian, Olelo Hawaii, and then I translated it in English right below. So it says, e la'i. So la'i is her name, the girl's name, and you use e before that. Pehea oi, tita, right? How you? And tita, if you look below, what does tita mean? It means sis, sister, right? And in Olelo Hawaii, we do have T's. Now the Olelo Hawaii, I'm teaching you standard Olelo Hawaii. We don't use T's so much. But if you go to Ni'ihau, or if you learn older dialects from different areas, they still use T as they do in Tahiti. That's why when I went to Tahiti, I could understand so much of their language, even in Rapa Nui, even in Aotearoa. It's the same thing. We just switch letters around. So tita means sister or sis. Now, if we go over to what La'i is saying, the girl on the side, aloha e kahale. So she uses the e before kahale's name. And she uses aloha as her greeting. Aloha e kahale. Mai ka'i wau. So she's saying, how is she feeling? She's feeling good. Wau means I, mai ka'i good. Mai ka'i wau. Palala. What could palala mean? Now, if we look at the words underneath that's translated, it says, I'm good, brada. So basically, palala means brada. Palala, barada. Yeah, pretty cool. So those are actually words that, from what I learned, were used on Ni'ihau, and we've adopted it into our language today. So let's switch over to the next slide and learn how else we can use the word e. Another word that you can use the word e is at the beginning of a sentence when you tell someone to do something. So it's called a directive or like a command sentence when you're saying, hey, go do this, hey, go do that. And if you're familiar to Hawaii and how we talk and pidgin language, we say e a lot. And there's no coincidence. We do it because it's a part of the Hawaiian language. It's not rude. It's actually very kind and considerate to say e before someone's name. But it's not EH, it's just the letter E. Very different, yeah? So we put that before a command or directive. So I made a really cool list of things that you can tell someone to do all throughout the day, okay? So these are things we use every day in our house. Ehele mai, come here. Repeat after me. Ehele mai.
Ehele mai.
Very good. The next one. E noho ilalo. Sit down. Repeat after me. E noho ilalo.
E noho ilalo.
We grew up hearing this stuff, right? Next one. E malama pono. Take good care. Repeat after me. E malama pono.
E malama pono.
Ah, well, you can use that one all the time, even on phone calls and everything. Next one. Yeah, especially for the parents taking care of keiki. E palaki niho. Go brush teeth, right? So repeat after me. E palaki niho.
E palaki niho.
Good. And you'll see I put the word go, brush teeth, because that's basically what you're telling them to do. Go and brush your teeth. But in Pidgin, we don't say go and brush your teeth. We just say go brush teeth. So it's very, very similar to Olelo Hawaii. Now the next one, e ai, go eat. Repeat after me. E ai.
E ai.
Remember at the beginning we do our oli, we go e ai ka ai. Same thing, to eat the food of the land. Ai ka ai. Next line, e inu. Repeat after, oh, means go drink. Repeat after me. E inu.
E inu.
Good. Drink something. Yeah. So when somebody comes to visit your house, you go, hey, inu. Go eat. Go drink. Make yourself at home, because that's the Hawaiian culture. That's how we are. Right. The next line says e kalamai, which means forgive me, pardon me. You hear that a lot. It's a really good one to know. So repeat after me. E kalamai.
E kalamai.
Good. Now the next line, the last one on that row. Sorry, my kahakos came out different, but you know what it's supposed to mean. So it says e ku iluna, which means to stand up. Repeat after me. E ku iluna.
E ku iluna.
You'll hear that a lot, especially in school. E ku iluna. Stand up. E no hilalo. Sit down, right? So this is really everyday stuff that you can totally use. Now let's go into the purple side of the screen. The top one says e au au. Go bathe. Repeat after me. E au au.
E au au.
Now this is a cool one, because when you grow up in Hawaii, you hear that all the time. Go au au. Go bathe. Now, a lot of times when we talk to little ones, we double the word. So you can just say e au. E au means to put your body into water. Yeah. So even swimming is au. So if you want to go say, hey, go swim. E au. Or you can say e au kai. If you're going to swim in the ocean, it's the kai. E au kai. Yeah. So now we just learned that sometimes things are doubled to make it a little bit more cute and accommodating to the keiki. E au au, e moi moi, go sleep, yeah? So repeat after me. E au au.
E au au.
Okay, next one is e kokua mai. And that means come help. Now repeat after me. E kokua mai.
E hoku mai.
Ah, good one, especially as a parent, yeah? Come help me real quick. E kokua mai. Now, right below that, enana, which means look, right? Sometimes when you're teaching or showing someone something, you need them to just pakawa and enana, just watch, look. Okay? Next one. Oh, actually repeat after me. Enana.
Enana.
Long enana.
Enana.
Good. Next one. E aloha aku means to show aloha. That's a really good one. So whenever my keiki, you know, we go to a family get together, and then, you know, auntie, they didn't see auntie long time. I go, hey, look, auntie's over there. E aloha aku. Go show aloha. Go show love to auntie. Okay, and that's just a customary culture thing, you know, but yeah. So repeat after me. E aloha aku.
E aloha aku.
Next one. E aloha mai means to give aloha. Yeah. So you're not just gonna go over there and show auntie aloha, but I'm asking you to come and give me aloha. So come give me aloha. The mai is towards me. The aku is away. You see the difference? Aku, go show and go over there. Mai, give to me. Yeah? Repeat after me. E aloha mai.
E aloha mai.
Okay, next line says, e ho'olohe. Listen. Repeat after me. E ho'olohe.
E ho'olohe.
Oh, good one to know. Next one. E ho'oma'ema'e.
E ho'oma'e.
That means to clean up. Repeat after me. E ho'oma'ema'e.
E ho'oma'ema'e.
Nice. Right below that. E olu olu. Please. Another great one to know. Repeat after me. E olu olu.
E olu olu.
And the last one I have, but definitely not least, there's so many more out there. These are just your everyday ones. E alamai, which means to wake up. And everybody repeat after me. E alamai.
E alamai.
Very good. Very good. Mai kai. So you can, this is definitely one that you can put up on the refrigerator and you can use every day. And this is, you can easily put it into your lifestyle and your home easily. Mai kai. So let's move on to the next slide. We're gonna do the hula real quick because I know you all love it. I'm gonna go down on the papahele on the ground, so you probably won't see me. But Kapili's gonna come right here, so you'll be able to see her. Okay. Get yourselves ready for hula. All right. Get your bodies ready for hula. You can either do it sitting down, noho style, or standing like Kapili is. Okay. Makaukau. Makaukau.
Ai, he mele o hina.
Eli, Eli, ihola, Eli, Eli, ihola, Eli, Eli, ihola, wapuka mai kawai, wapuka mai kawai, kawai kapua hi, na makaukau no, makaukau no, makaukau no na pua, ehanai, ehanai, amolokai.
Mele o hina.
Woohoo! Mai ka'iloa. I bet you everybody's getting so much better and stronger at their hula. That makes me so hau'oli. Now, ahui ho, malama pono, ahui ho, malama pono, ahui ho, ene, ahui ho, ene, malama pono, ene. Ahui ho until Thursday. Excited to see you guys and share.